You know, we need to understand the truth. I mean, Jesus in John chapter 8, verses 31 through 36, Jesus said, if you're truly my disciples, you'll continue in my word. He's talking about his teachings, his sayings. He says, if you do continue in my word, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. The Jews thought he was talking about servitude to man, but Jesus said, he who commits sin is the slave of sin, and a slave doesn't remain in the house forever, but a son does. And whoever the Son shall make free shall be free indeed. I mean, we got to understand, because Paul told Timothy, 1 Timothy 3:7, some are ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth and know the truth. And Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, John 14:6. And the writer of Hebrews in chapter 10, verse 26 says, if we willfully sin after we receive the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sin, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour our adversaries. I mean, we got to understand what he is talking about, because just because you've been born again doesn't mean you know the truth, because this is the same thing Paul is alluding to in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, that though we walk in the flesh, we don't war according to the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, fleshly, but mighty through God to the pulling down, the destruction of strongholds, and every argument and imagination lifting itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. And when your obedience is full, having a readiness to punish or avenge every disobedience. I mean, this is what Paul is saying in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12, and chapter 10, verse 23, that all things are lawful for me, but all things don't work together for my good. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the authority by any, in chapter 6, verse 12. I mean, we need to understand the truth, that the law is just merely our schoolmaster to show us our sin, to bring us to Christ, as he describes in Galatians chapter 3 and again in chapter 7 of Romans. I had not known sin but by the commandment, or sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. That's why he says that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness for everyone that believes, because it is the law that brings us to repentance, to bring us to Christ, and to walk in the liberty that he